It's time for a review of that new Drizzy Drake album, Views. This new Drake album, it came out a couple weeks ago, and I just got it a few days ago, and I've had time to listen to it a few times, and listen to some other songs even more times than that, and try to figure out, Drake, sir, what are you doing, dude? Let me just first say that I think this album could have been condensed way down. There is too much on this album, and an album with 20 songs is not an issue, but an album with 20 songs in which a lot of them have the same theme, a lot of them sound alike, and a lot of them have similar production, and some of them being 4.5-5 minutes long, then there's something wrong with 20 tracks. The way this album starts out with Keep the Family Close, I didn't have an issue with that. It caught me off guard. I mean, I bought the thing, popped it in the player, and I was like, wait, what is Drake doing? I kind of dug it. That old school soul feel that what he was bringing on this first track with his singing. I'm like, okay, it's Drake singing. Drake doesn't have the best voice in the world, but he's not horrible. He just, he's Drake. Keep the Family Close was cool. Then it went into 9. I'm like, okay, 9's a really cool beat, a little bit different, a little bit more mellow than I would expect for that kind of flow. You With Me, I really enjoyed You With Me. Feeling Away was Hype was cool. Weston Road flows, love the beat on that. Whatever that sample is, I dig it. I love the way Drake's spitting. But let me tell you something. When this album hits redemption, okay, look, we've got some good moments on this album. We've got not redemption. With You, Faithful, not bad. Pimp C feature that they doctored in there, honestly a little bit out of place on this track. I feel like it sounds good mixing wise, level wise, the way they put it in, it sounds like he's actually on the track, but as far as like chemistry with Drake and blending in, it just feels out of place. The singer, I guess it's pronounced Division, DVSN, or Devious One. That's what his name is, Devious One, I think. I don't know. Whatever his name is, he sounded good. I liked him. I liked the way he harmonized with himself. I thought he was honestly he was the highlight of the song for me, aside from the production on there. But still, here he's bringing. He's got a couple songs where he's trying to bring like that ATL or just like with a little hint of like drill music, like songs that were really popular like in 2012 and 2013 with like Young Chop. Like they have a little bit of that feel on like Hype and Still Here. So my thing is, I liked Drake back in the day. I heard him on what's that song, Forever. I heard his verse on Forever. I heard him on I'm Going In with Jeezy and Wayne. And so I heard those two tracks. I was like, hey, this Drake's dude is not too bad. But then he dropped that horrible debut album. And I was like, okay, well, Drake isn't the person I thought he was going to be. He dropped, what was the next one after that? I don't know, Take Care or something. I was like, oh, okay, that's a little better. I'm still not going to rock with him like that. Then he dropped Nothing Was the Same. I honestly never listened to it. But If You're Reading This, It's Too Late was filled with bangers. Drake was flowing. There was less of that whiny singing. Granted, you still had tracks like Jungle and Preach on there, but... And so I thought that was the road Drake was going to take, especially with the whole Meek Mill thing, the tracks he was dropping that, and then Summer 16, which is not even on this dang album. And I'm like, okay, Drake might turn out to be a cool artist. And then this album came out, and songs like Pop Style, and songs like Still Here, and Weston Road Flows, and 9, and Views. Oh my gosh, Views. He just went off on Views. Songs like that. I'm like, yeah, that's the Drake I need. But the rest of this album, what the heck? But yeah, like Future, Party Next Door, Rihanna, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this album is struggling with features. But Pop Style, I like Pop Style. I think that was one of the highlights production-wise on this thing. That was like my favorite beat on this thing, and I'm glad that it was just the Drake version, because I thought the version with Jay-Z and Kanye was really kind of stupid and annoying. But the song Grammys, while I like the beat, Future, you're killing me, dude. Future, they're going to Grammy. They're going to Grammy. They're going to Grammy. I'm gonna tell you something right now, Future. With this kind of music, with that verse you just brought, I would never be under the impression that you would win a Grammy. There's so many songs on this thing where I feel like Drake is just playing it safe. I feel like this album is like kid friendly almost. It's so like teetering on this line of like pop rap, but he's also trying to like have some trap music in here that's not really working out, but he's also trying to do like some like East Coast just bar songs with like views and Weston Road flows, and so he's like, it's just teetering in this weird gray area where Drake like will not really commit to a style, and it's just very watered down and too whiny. This album is just so dang whiny and sappy, and this is I can't get songs, dude. Songs like Feel No Ways and Controlla and With You and Fire and Desire and Too Good, and just it's sickening, dude. It's like, Drake, I don't want to hear you write songs that are equivalent to a 14-year-old girl's diary. In all honesty, even though I can't stand Rihanna's music, I think she actually did sound good on this track. Like there's one Rihanna song that I can stand. It's called California King Bed, and her vocals kind of resembled what her vocals were on that track. There was more, she was actually kind of singing instead of doing her that she does on every song. When it got to track 7, when it got to Redemption, and every now and then I kind of would hear some trap hi-hats and wake up and go, what's going on? Is this going to be good? Oh, it's okay. And the next song will put me back to sleep. I mean, I really have no idea what to say. And then it closes out with Hotline Bling, which has been out for so long. And here's how you know that your album is kind of boring and kind of melodramatic, is when it gets to Hotline Bling. And granted, I have not heard this song in like 7 months because I was on my mission, and before I left, it was the big thing. I'd kind of gotten sick of hearing it. And when Hotline Bling came on and closed this album, each time, I was like, you know what? Hotline Bling is a lot better than I remember. And I don't think it's actually a lot better than I remember. I just think that it's better than what precedes it on this album. It's just not an interesting album. The production is so play it safe. There's so many pop songs on here, like One Dance, which One Dance I actually kind of do like, but I think if you're going to do songs like that, limit it to 1, 2, maybe 3 songs like that, and the rest of your album, I need stuff like 9, I need stuff like Views, I need stuff like Pop Style, and if you switch out Future, you can give me stuff like Grammys, but don't give me 15 traps of dance hall pop music that I really don't know what Drake is doing. I loved If You're Reading This It's Too Late, but my dude, this album is just not okay. I mean, it's you're the one with the record deal, not me, but this album to me is just not what I want in a Drake album. Like, had this been Drake's debut project, granted, I think next to this, his worst project was his first album with Find Your Lovin'. I think had this been like his first album, that he would not have been the success that he was, because I think people would have heard this and gone, what in the actual heck is going on here? Like, this is garbage. And I think he would have been dismissed and not been popular. And to top it all off, all the stinking pictures inside this album booklet, every single one of them look like a loading screen from like Grand Theft Auto games or something. It's like, what are you doing with your life? Like, there's a couple tracks that will have some replay value. This album is just like, it feels like it was all written and recorded in like the course of 3 days. So you've got too many stinking pop songs on this thing that are boring. You've got producers that are known for being innovative, and they've kind of just copied what's going on right now. But yeah, too many pop songs. Condense this down. This album is 20 songs. It easily could have been way more decent than it is. I don't think you could have given me a good album like you did the last project, but you know, you cut this down to like 12 tracks and take some of the stupid stuff off it, take the interlude off it, take all the lovey-dovey in your feel songs off it. It could have been okay. You know, I really don't feel like this was worth the $12 I paid for it, but whatever. That's the risk I took. Like honestly, on this album, I'm feeling like a sneaking F plus on this. I don't think I've ever given a thing that I've reviewed on my channel aside from one other project an F, but yeah, this F stands for flop. This was Drake is he was such a tease. Gives us all this dopeness for a year straight, and then gives us this.